to feel it. It's like one of the hottest things I've ever had.
Okay, so we're going to alphadc.org. WordPress admin is either WordPress admin or, like I have in the URL, WordPress wp.login.
Yeah.
That'll take you here. Use your login credentials.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's good, right? Maybe.
The only one way to find out, I guess, is like just gonna have to watch it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like we can verify it anyway.
I can make another video.
Oh yeah, it said dashboard, so sorry. I'm confused for a second. I thought it was broadcasting the wrong website, but then I realized this is good.
I think we're good, yeah.
All right, so user management, I presume you can give permissions like editor, admin, etc.
Yep, and so that's right here. So
we got a lot of users here.
Yeah, so technology is the main one. Some people, like Edgar, requested his own account, so he uses that sometimes.
So he actually uses it. Oh, Edgar. Yahoo.
Right. Yep, that's pretty much it. I think this one's not used very much, and neither is this one.
Well, we control communications. Does Camilla have access to that as well? Or?
Yeah, that's what.
That's what I figured.
We don't. So the reason we have communications listed here is so we can do things like send usage statistics on Google Analytics.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm glad you're up to date on the Google APIs and things.
Yeah. I actually my minor was in analytics, so
okay, cool.
I got plenty of experience on that.
Okay. So that takes care of user management. You can edit any of these things, but just scroll and you can delete them. I wouldn't.
I don't think Edgar would mind.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to creating a page. If you go, you can either go to all pages and do it from here, or you'll be able to do it from here. So let's see what the pages currently are. Okay, so these are all the pages. You can sort them or not. I just did. I thought it would have done it quicker. But okay.
Oh, yeah. I think it's already sorted. So.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to edit one of the pages, you can click on Edit. Maybe it would be better to first show you what the page actually looks like. Okay. So this is the page. This is the home page.
Oh, a quick question. Does Alpha National require us to maintain a certain template for our website?
Not template, but they do require you certain things.
Certain
like
content?
Yeah, like a good example of that is national info. If you click on this, it should take you to their page, I think. And it does. Yay, we didn't screw up.
Yeah. We won't get dropped from the brain.
Yeah, right. They do require, the last time they sent something out was like 8 months ago. I think they might do it yearly, just to like check with all the chapters to make sure they're up to a certain standard. But
they just got a new tech officer too, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you. Oh, let's do this. So this is the home page that I just showed you.
Yeah.
If I were to click Edit here. Good. Okay, so you see, like, these are like your basic Word editing options.
Yeah.
You can do things like use text to create links.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple. If you want to add pictures or something, just click on Add Media, and it'll add it like in line.
Sure.
So that's editing a page, and then say I did make some sort of change, like this or something. Right? So and then you click Update. You click Update. It takes a few seconds for that to refresh. And then you just refresh here. And there's your thing. So just take that out. Oh, you can also see revisions here.
Oh, okay. See if Edgar's screwed around with it.
Yeah. So yeah. And then you can. I've actually never done this before, but.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever we're not gonna do that.
You're going to be covering like header and meta tags here, or no? Like, do you have any advice on that? Because I've never actually done that before. I've learned about it, but just in an academic context.
Sorry, doing what?
Like header tags and like meta tags, description tags, stuff like that. I noticed. I saw some in the HTML there for a second.
Oh, you mean like here?
Yeah, like the header tag, you know, upcoming events, stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. So.
Oh no, wait, I'm sorry, that's not it. That's just the HTML style. I'm talking about like.
You're talking about like the stuff that's not displayed on the page.
No, actually, I think it's one and the same. I don't know if I recall.
Okay. You're talking.
It's like SEO stuff, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like the same thing. Anyways, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's probably the same.
Yeah, we can get to that. So that's how you edit a page. Preview if you want to view what you changed there. This is how you create a new page. Once you create a new page, it will show up on where is it?
We have like a directory.
Under the menus, yeah. So if you create a page, that page will automatically be put on the menu. So a good example of why I'm bringing this up, is there was a page that I created that I didn't want other people to see.
Test page.
Yeah, like I was still working on it, and I didn't want people to be able to find it. It's not the best way to do it, but so I just created it, and then I came here right away and like deleted this.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you can remove it if you want.
So once you remove it from the menu or whatever, then it'll remain on your pages list, but it just won't be viewed from a public user.
Yeah, like I could go to like
the direct file path, but who's gonna start randomly typing in?
Right. Yeah. So not the best way to do it, but it works. Okay, so creating a page, editing a page. You've seen document view. And then I quickly toggled to the HTML view. That's how you like edit the HTML.
So like style and all that.
Yep. Yeah. It's pretty slugs. Let's get to slugs.
That is something that I don't recognize.
Yeah. All right. So. Alright, let's create a new page for this actually. Slug example.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea to save for the future.
Okay, and then also we're going to bring up okay, so see this thing here is called a slug?
Yeah.
That means if you copy this and just put it in here under square brackets.
It's like an object reference.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's going to take whatever that thing is and just embed it.
Do you use it often?
No, not very. I've used it, I think, in 2 different situations.
So when like would it be useful to use that instead of actually just putting the object into whatever page interface this is?
If you have a plugin that does a lot of the work for you, then you like create the plugin through this GUI user thingy.
Sure.
And then you just get the slug and embed it.
Okay, that makes sense.
It does all the hard work for you, basically.
So if you wanted to post a video or something, it'd probably be useful.
Something like that, yeah. Let's see what happens if I preview. Oh, that's not good.
I guess it's not set, or is it curly brackets?
I don't think it's curly. It's WordPress slug.
It's the first time I've ever heard of something like this. Is this commonly used? Is it like a term that only WordPress uses? Or
yeah. Probably not only WordPress, but
it's not something entirely common.
Yeah.
Okay.
This might actually.
Maybe the slug isn't.
It might just be because we're in edit mode.
Oh yeah, true. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, let's see what happens if I publish. Maybe I'll have to edit some of these things out.
Yeah, there you go. Oh wait, is that it? No.
So if I view page now.
Try running it in incognito. Or yeah, you're in Chrome. Try running it in incognito. See if that
Let's give it a shot. I might have actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure that out and get back to you.
Sure.
But okay.
I'm probably not gonna use it anytime soon, so
yeah.
You gotta take your time.
Okay, so then if you want to delete a page, this is how you delete. Okay, and then I mentioned menus. So if you go here to the menus, this is under appearance. It does take a while to figure out where these things are. You can like drag and drop these in different orders.
Sure.
So if I want internships to be above jobs.
This is on the right-hand side of the homepage, right?
Yeah, right. This is what shows up on the right-hand side of the homepage.
Okay.
I don't want to save that. It doesn't really matter if we do actually, but so if I go to widgets, then sidebar.
So you got Facebook and Twitter on here. Communications or marketing is responsible for Facebook, Twitter, right? Or do we do anything with it other than just point to it?
Yeah, just point to it.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay. If we go into, I'm gonna sort of like go off topic from this outline.
No, that's fine.
But if we go into editor, I think I can show you a lot of these different things. Okay. This is where you're going to see a lot of the actual files like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP. A lot of those files you're never going to actually see from WordPress unless you like really dig deep into it. So if you go to Appearance Editor, you might be able to find some of them. I forget what you can see from here, but
sure.
If you can't find something that's more like on the technical aspect from Appearance Editor, then you have to go into the FileZilla and look at like the raw files on the server.
Yeah. Okay.
But we use a template called Neat. I created a child template called Meet Alpha,
Okay.
and then I created it like a year ago. Holy shit, that's a long time.
Just yesterday.
But let's look at this guy first.
Yeah, so what are the main differences between the original and the revised theme that you did?
So the revised theme just has additions onto it. So in here, you'll see some style.css, and it's pretty big. I didn't write all that at all. But what I did write is additions onto it, things that were specific to our site that I wanted to have that weren't included originally. So you can see here I'm importing the neat style sheet. So that's like the main thing coming in.
Yeah.
But then I have like the margins were off on one of the pages, so I added some CSS for it.
Yeah.
Right. So this is all just in addition to the basic template that you get.
Sure. What are the pop-ups that you added here?
Pop-ups. Oh, we don't actually use those anymore. Okay. They were for. I might still use them. Newsletters. Oh yeah. Okay. So if I go here, page, I might actually use it. Okay. Cool.
Oh, I see.
So then you click on this and it'll pull up the PDF.
Reader thing. Yeah.
I'm surprised that still works. But so obviously we haven't done this in a while, right? So this is when I first started posting them.
Any particular reason why you stopped?
It took a long time.
Really? To post them?
No. To I was also editing them and putting them together and writing some of them.
Oh, jeez.
So it wasn't just me. There were other contributors, but I was trying to coordinate the whole thing, and it took a while. So I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah. That sounds terrible.
But that's what that's for.
All right, cool.
But so what I did want to show you is here, if you go back to our main template.
Do you take backups of this at all?
Yeah.
What do? Do you just download the FTP files, or?
I have Google Sync. I forget what it's called.
Drive.
Google Drive. Yeah. I have that synced up with the
files link.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
Yeah.
So
do they keep modified versions? Do you have to ask it to? I know they do it for their local files like Google Docs.
I think it's live updating. So whenever I make a change to a file on the server.
Yeah, it syncs. But what I'm saying is if I royally screw something up and I have to roll it back.
Mm-hmm.
I
see what you're saying.
Revision histories.
You're saying does Google Drive keep revision history?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, well I can look into it either way.
Yeah.
I just want to be careful on not.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so here you see a lot of PHP, right? I haven't. Whenever I've had to edit one of these, I've just had to do some Google searching and figure out which file is for what.
Yeah.
But if you look at, I think, the index page, right? So it's saying put the title in this link, right?
Yeah.
And maybe I should start up from there. Okay, so this is, if you start from the top, there's some function get header. Yeah, and that's probably in header file. That'll give you all of the meta tag information and stuff.
Yeah.
Now you don't actually have to edit that file specifically to get the meta information in there, because we have nice plugins and things called yeah, I think it's this one, meta tag optimization.
Interesting.
So this is right, you will rarely need to edit these files, because there's usually some sort of plugin for it.
So what does it do? It just detects what the optimal metadata. This is what I was asking about before, because like when I was learning this, it sounded really difficult to kind of know what the right words to use are.
Yeah, and I honestly tried doing this for a little while, and it just didn't work very well. I never finished it.
It's really hard.
All of our tags are like, so this will give you like the keys on what it means on how you're doing. But then this is just like a how-to, right?
Yeah.
If you actually go into a page, let's pull these guys out. You can see this is search engine optimization, search engine keywords, search engine description.
Yeah. So you didn't hard code any of this. Like it was all suggested, or?
No, this was what, like, I went into each of the pages. I forget how. It might have been, I think if you check something out. Yeah, so I think if you edit this, see the so keywords Latino or whatever.
Yeah.
You come down here.
Oh, right there.
There it is, yeah. So, but as you can see, we're not doing wonderfully. Right?
Yeah.
We got a lot of red, so. I think I just honestly just never totally figured out how it worked.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a little bit about it, but it's hard. Like people make careers out of doing that kind of stuff. It's really difficult. Yeah, so that's what I was asking about.
That's
yeah, it'll be a good experience for me. I'll learn a little bit more about it.
I think I listed some like things that I want to do for improvement that I never got around to.
Fine tune SEO keywords. Okay. I didn't know Google offered AdWords for free sometimes.
Yeah, they just try to get you to like buy into it.
Yeah.
So they're only going to probably offer it once.
Once or maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stay on top of that. Okay. Yeah, this is. I can't tell you how many times like that phone system crapped out.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I live in DC, so I can never make it out there. So.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Let me make sure this slug thing isn't on here. Yeah, it is. So remember that slug example? I don't want that, so I'm going to remove it.
Oh yeah, we almost forgot about that.
So when this updates, then I can come here, refresh this, and it should give me a 404, which means it can't find the page. Okay. Okay, what else is next? What we got?
So you mentioned the widgets, but I don't think we got too far into them. So.
So widgets are under appearance. And oh yeah, I remember where I got derailed.
Well, you went to the editor, I think.
Yeah.
So
let's pull both at the same time. So here you can see the sidebar, right? That sounds like something that makes sense of what's going on.
Sure.
And then I have this thing called Facebook widget. And this is a widget I think that I just like installed.
Yeah.
I can show you how to do that later. But basically it says, give me your Facebook URL, give me some ID that only you would have as the Facebook user.
Yeah.
You know, do all these configurations here.
So it pushes content to that location.
Yeah, and where that location is depends on your theme. And you can view like the theme and information from this editor.
So where does it? Because I don't ever recall actually seeing anything like that, like running through the page. Where does it actually end up?
Yeah, so like, right, you're asking if you go into here.
I mean, from the visitor's perspective, from the public perspective, like where is that?
Oh yeah.
Where does that content go to?
Yeah, I can show you.
So, I see.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And like, I haven't posted any events lately, so we don't have any. But this is another. So we have upcoming events, Facebook, and then our standard. This is like what the template comes with. So if you look over here at our widgets, where did it go? Here. If you look over here, we have Facebook, and then upcoming events.
Yeah.
So that's what you see.
Do you have to? What is the upcoming event linked to? Do you have to manually? Well, looks like you have to. You would have to manually add. So it's Google Calendar.
No, it's
Google gives you the ability to import it. Where do you edit that calendar?
well, so the plugin actually gives you the ability to export to Google.
Right.
So it's not a Google event, but you can add it to your, like if I come down here
Yeah.
and I say,
It'll just push all the events to your calendar.
Yeah.
So where do you? So there are some upcoming events. So you have to hard add these to upcoming events.
No. So say I want a new event, right? Actually, I'll let you do this because this is
Sure.
good learning. Yeah, so just add event. Yep. Just call it whatever you want. Oh yes, thank you. Here you go.
Sure. This Sunday, 6:30 to 10. Google spoils me.
I think you might just need to, yeah.
Hard.
There you go.
Exclusive. Exclude dates. So if you have like a date range, you can exclude it. There's actually a 1-2 big drive.
Yeah,
In Virginia too. Input. So that would be if you wanted, if there was like no real way
to show the address, yeah.
That's cool.
That map thing is really neat, but I think sometimes it doesn't show up properly on a page.
Oh, really?
It's too big, yeah. You can leave it just because I kind of want to see how it looks.
What it does. Probably don't have any colors. So this new event is going to be showing on the right panel, so we have to be careful with what we precisely add in here, right?
On that right panel, only certain information is shown, like only the title and the date is shown. And then if you actually go to like the real calendar view, it'll show you more information.
So it links to the calendar view on the page. The page has a separate,
Yeah.
or the
Well,
site has a separate page.
So actually, it links to an event page. Like each event has its own page,
Right.
and so it'll push you there. So you can put whatever you want in there, or almost anything. You can't make it huge.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that you kind of restricted the margins on the page.
Mhm.
Was there a reason for that?
You mean in the custom CSS stuff?
Well, I didn't see it in the code, but I just noticed it.
Oh, you mean like on the page?
Yeah.
No, I think that's actually like the template design.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you never dabbled with like auto-sizing it based on the screen?
Oh,
Well, you develop websites. Would you recommend looking into something like that?
yeah. If it looks good, you can do whatever.
Okay. I don't have a good eye for things, so that's definitely something my girlfriend will be consulting. So explain to me these categories here. What are we doing with those?
I haven't used them in a while, but
Just basically for sponsors, and you just tag them onto a sponsored event.
And then when they're looking at like the calendar view, they can say like, "Oh, show me all the Deloitte events." Like they can use filters and things.
Oh, that's cool.
but I haven't used it in a while. It does look really neat, and it's really pretty helpful.
All right, so we're gonna publish and remove this
Yeah.
really quickly. Good. See what it looks like.
So again, this is not going to show you. This is going to show you like the actual event.
And so it obviously hasn't pushed the widget yet. So,
Yeah, that's surprising.
so interesting. You're right. It seems to
Right.
not really work too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's overflowing.
Yeah, I usually don't put it on for that reason.
Yeah. I guess it's probably assuming there's no panel there. Okay.
That's something you could play with. I'm curious if you go back here. That should have updated with the event.
No, I didn't because I didn't publish it. I don't think. You still.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I just went to the preview.
Yeah.
Publish now.
And you gave it a date, right?
30th.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good. There it is. Oh, that's cool.
And then if you click on it,
It'll take you to that page that we saw in the preview.
yep.
And map widget doesn't work, so it's
Yeah, you'll find that there are a decent number of things that just don't work the way you would expect them to. So
well, it's I mean,
it's definitely
how as
not
a
perfect
programmer do you code for all contingencies, especially
right.
in something as complex as this?
Yeah.
No way. All right, so I would assume you go to events, test event for this trash. All right, let's go.
Somebody has the World Cup. Who's that? Sophia.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. What sort of operating system do you have, or what computer do you have?
7 Ultimate. What is 7 Ultimate?
Okay.
I'm thinking about. I'm going to be building a computer soon and putting Linux on it, so
Okay, cool.
that might change.
So FileZilla should be available for it.
I've used FileZilla before.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Well,
I know my way around it pretty well, so if you wanted to just skip over it, that's fine.
yeah. Let's make sure that we can at least.
It's also a little bit different for Macs than it is on PC. But yeah, do you have your server credentials?
Yeah.
But don't you need a gate or a port number?
Yeah, I have.
Doesn't look like you gave me that.
Actually, I don't think you do. Yeah.
Oh, you don't need it. All right, cool.
I have it saved in here for me. So if you try to do this eventually and you can't log in for some reason and you need to, just let me know and I'll try to find something out.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably right.
That's something that I would check with Edgar on. He's the owner of, like the server, right?
Yeah.
He is the owner of the server space. So that's all under his domain and control. So if you want to change that, then just talk to him. But yeah, cool. So it still works.
Great.
Actually, I think I did test that. Yeah, we won't go into details. The one thing that I did want to mention was that I would encourage you to link. Shit, I thought I had this linked up. So you can synchronize these two directories. Mine usually are synced.
Yeah. I found that interesting that you managed to do that. How did you manage to do that?
So it might just be from this version of FileZilla, but let me see.
I think you're on the most recent, so I just grab it. Well, in any event, I could always just Google it. So.
Yeah. Well, and actually, I was just trying to make sure that I did, but I know how to do it. If you go up here to your what was it? Site Manager, go to Advanced,
Okay, yeah.
and then these two are what's synced together.
All
So
right.
if I were to go here, I would see the contents of the site. So like the server files and things. And then this is what I sync up through my Google Drive.
Okay. How much do we have on the server, and what's our space? I don't know. You don't know.
I've been uploading images for a while and haven't ever run into any issue with it. And the way that
I mean, it's probably a lot. I know that usually when you sign up for a free account, they give you like more than you would ever need, unless you're running like some crazy SQL stuff.
right, or like if you store a lot of videos,
Yeah.
that could take up a lot of space. But we're not doing any of that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
all of that's through Google. So.
Was there anything that any of the like board members or anybody like talked to you about something they would like to see that like maybe you didn't have time, or some like project? I know you meant I'm assuming these here are the projects that you've had in the back of your head that you want to pass down to me, but anything that other people like approach you with?
Not since so we had what I was trying to show you with that slug was like an application form. So somebody was like, hey, let's put together, like
Like a membership application.
No, like a scholarship application.
Okay.
So we had like 15 people submit their resumes, essays, and things.
Yeah.
And I had to use. It took a little bit of time. I created like a form, and then you just put in that slug, and the slug creates the form for you, like on the fly.
Did it work?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Well, not this time, but.
Yeah. No, but if I should show you this. If you come to forms.
Okay, so the form, I was going to ask you, the forms you're referring to are WordPress's, like, local forms.
Yeah, well, so, like, you create and edit this form yourself, but all of, like, the wiring together of, like, saving information and what the form field is called and all, like, that HTML, JavaScript wiring, that's done for you. So, like, if you come here
save a lot of time.
And click edit, and see, like, it's, it's all GUI. You can, if you don't want to call it email, you can call it email too, and then it'll change.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you use the slug to populate that into the basic settings or whatever.
And then when somebody clicks submit on the form, if you went to the bottom of edit, there would have been like a submit button.
Yeah.
When somebody clicks that, it saves all the information.
Onto the server.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I asked for space is because I was thinking about, there's a couple of reasons that Alpha UMD could benefit from an alpha.org domain name.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
You mean like a subdomain?
Like alphaumd.org within Alpha DC. One of the things I've been concerned about for a while is, like, what if one year we turn over to someone who, like, screws the pooch and decides to go quiet, lose all their stuff? Like, if we keep this centralized with Alpha DC, at least, the tech director there would be able to reset stuff or whatever. Like, I want the administrative stuff to move. For a while, we had a student who was handling all the admin stuff on our site and everything. Yeah. And then he flew back to Brazil, and we didn't hear him for like 2 months. Okay. So.
Can I borrow your pencil real quick? Yeah. So, you probably know most of this, but
you had it right on here.
So you have ALPFA.dc.org, right?
Yeah.
And that's our domain. This is DreamHost space, whatever. And say, if you imagine like this as the server space, whatever, under this you can create subdomains. So you can say like umd.alpha.dc.org. And then this has its own little section of memory. And so like if they were to go, and you can, like from here, you can pull in information. But if they were to like just totally go rogue and just like X that out, this would still be pristine.
Right.
So like Alpha DC wouldn't have to worry about what umd.alphadc.org knows.
Okay. To
But
your
then,
knowledge, is there a way that if they got their separate, they're already paying for a domain, alphaumd.com, I think.
okay.
If they were to move to an org, would there be a way we can manage it centrally from Alpha DC?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't make much sense because then you can just make yourself an admin on alphaumd.org.
Well, but it is good because and actually this is one of the situations we're trying to fix with Alpha National, right? Alpha National has some alpha.org site up here, and like right now, alpha.org and Alpha DC are at the same level. Like they're not connected. They're like totally distinct, and they're at the same domain level. What would preferably be my scenario is if you had
alpha.org/DC or DC.
Yeah. So you would actually, instead of alpha.org/DC, you would have alpha.dc, and that sounds kind of ugly, but and then like when the benefit of this is when they
wait, but you wouldn't be able to do this because you would need ownership to dc.org.
I'm sorry, I flipped them.
Yeah, dc.alpha.org.
Yeah, right. The benefit of this is if they post something to their server,
we could just pull it or automate it.
Yeah. And so that's how.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's how Alpha's current system is set up with other chapters.
But not ours.
But not ours, because like our old website was looking kind of old, and just the hosting service that Alpha is under, in my opinion, is not the greatest. And I think other people saw that it was like looking old and out of date, and we knew that DreamHost and WordPress were a good platform. So we made the switch, but they haven't yet.
Yeah, so you decided to hold off until they updated their stuff.
Yeah, and like we don't even know that they're ever going to. But.
Well, we'll see. Apparently this new tech guy is really good. I don't know, so we'll see what he does. Yeah, so that's definitely an arrangement I'm looking to do for UMD.
And if you can demonstrate, this might be a really good opportunity. If you can demonstrate how to do it with Alpha DC and UMD as a subdomain, if you can demonstrate that, that would be a good example for these guys up here.
National,
Like, look, we've done it. We know how to do it.
Yeah, that sounds like a brilliant project if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah.
And what I really want is that .org extension. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, because I learned that you get spammed a lot, or you get your email, your newsletters get forwarded to spam a lot less if you have .org for some reason. So that's a problem that we were having when I was president over there. It's like 20%, and the peak was like 20% at one point was getting shot straight to spam.
Yeah.
And it was like 100% of Yahoo accounts.
The one thing that you might want to consider is if you were to make a subdomain off this, it would still have that DC, right? You can't.
Well, yeah, there's no way unless. Yeah. Oh, well, so I was thinking because I was almost positive that you guys had the arrangement with National, but then when you showed me Alpha, when you took the Alpha DC, I was like, well, wait, they can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could, but it was.
Okay?
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at that and I was like, well, I guess they could have some weird arrangement where you have like a subdomain that's nothing to do with the other one, but that wouldn't even make sense to do. Really.
You might be able to like do some sort of URL mapping to actually like take Alpha DC and just like it would still be on the Alpha DC host or domain.
I think that would hurt our SEO though, because wouldn't that be like look to an engine as like black hat kind of stuff?
What do you mean?
Like if you're doing some trick to kind of like remove DC from your name, like you're forwarding it, like that looks a little suspicious, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, you own the controls at the server level, so you can tell it what is and is not allowed.
Okay. Yeah.
Something you can check.
Yeah. Definitely something to work on.
So we should probably head out.
Yeah, is there like, I mean,
We could
did
go.
you want to talk more? Is there like a Starbucks or something else?
Yeah, let's go to Starbucks real quick.
Do you know where one is?
No. And I'm wondering how we're gonna continue the.
Yeah, we need Wi-Fi.
Well, okay, so we're gonna stop the broadcast.